And welcome back, and it is the 18th of April, high +5 a day, and let's just go straight to the first question. Right, so this first one, I think this first one's relatively straightforward, isn't it? Are the lines 4x minus 5y and x plus 4y plus 1 perpendicular? Right, what you need to do is you need to show clear working, because you're showing something, you just need to be rigorous about what you're doing. So therefore I can say that line 1 can be written as y is equal to 4x minus 5. I've moved the y to the side and written them back to front. Line 2, I can say can be written as y equals minus a quarter x minus a quarter. Therefore, the gradient of this, I can call it 1. So the gradient of this is 4, and therefore the gradient of this is minus a quarter. Now, as I've said in other videos, the examiner knows what to do, hopefully. The examiner is a teacher who's taught maths for a while. All they're doing is looking for you to have stated certain steps so that you know what you're doing. Then you need to do a bit more than this. You then need to explain what perpendicular is. So I'm going to explain by demonstration. So I'm going to say as m1 times m2 equals that, which is minus 1, and therefore perpendicular. In other words, I need to have said something about these numbers and not just work two numbers out. I need to also state what's going on. It's not a bad question. It's a nice sort of rearranging question, but you do got to be clear as to what you're demonstrating is true. Next question. Helen says that the cosine of an angle is minus 1. Write down, so basically this is, do you know your curve shapes? Write down 3 possible angles. I don't think this will be on your GCSE. I think you're only supposed to know up to 360 on your GCSE, but it might be. So what you need to know is you need to know your cosine curve. So you need to know minus 1 occurs here, which is going to be 180. And then you need to know your curve repeats every 360. So in other words, it happens again 360 later, and then it happens again 360 later. So it's going to be 180, 540, and 900. I don't think that should be on your GCSE, but it might do, so just make sure you're aware of the repeating pattern of cosine. Next question. Solve the simultaneous equations, and then it gives me 2. Now this is a classic non-linear simultaneous equation question. I'm going to rearrange this one here, which is going to tell me that y is equal to 5 minus 2x. And I'm going to put that one into here and then hope the numbers are relatively nice. So let's do that. So I've got x squared plus 5 minus 2x. I've switched my y is equal to 5. Again, let's now work this out neatly. So x squared plus 25 minus 5 times 2 is 10, double it's 20. X plus 4x squared is equal to 5. Let's do some collecting. So x squared plus x squared is 5x squared. Minus 20x. I'm hoping this divides by 5. Done that. 25 minus 5 is 20. It's equal to 0, which is the same as, now divide everything by 5 is going to give me x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 0, which is actually just the same as x minus 2 squared, isn't it? So that's just the one case that x minus 2 squared is equal to 0, which means that x equals 2 only. And then I'm going to put it back into here, which means that y equals 5 minus 2 times 2, which is 1, which means that y is equal to 1. So my answer is 2, 1. Now, it's not going to say this because this is a bit more A-level than GCSE, but it might ask you, what does that mean? Well, that means I've got a circle where the line only just touches the circle. So something like this. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but the point is it touches once. There's only one solution. Next question. For all values of x, f of x equals this. Find f minus 1 of x. Again, okay, we've been relatively okay today, haven't we, so far? So that's 2x plus 1 over 4. I'm going to then rearrange that so I get x equals. So 4y equals 2x plus 1. Take away 1 from both sides, divide by 2. So that means a half. 4y minus 1 is equal to x, which means my answer is a half. I'm going to put it as a denominator. So 4x minus 1 over 2. And I'm happy that's my answer. Next and final question today. The graph with equation y equals x cubed is translated by this vector. In other words, I'm moving it left by 1. Write down the equation of the translated graph. That's just going to be y equals x plus 1 cubed. opposite because it's x inside the brackets. Feels like there should be more to that, but there's not, is there? That one's not too bad. Good set of questions today. Quite enjoyed it today. I like that circle question in the middle, the simultaneous equation question. As ever, let me know how it went for you. Like, subscribe. See you tomorrow. Thanks.